red and green from the stadia, the cheers, like, wametupatia restrictions kibao. Yeah, that's the problem of being at an international event.
No problem, bora we give the fans what they need. Usiende huku upige sherehe
ni sahau kazi,
usahau tuko na show mzae.
Well, hiyo itakuwa ngumu. And we have so much lined up for you this afternoon, and I don't know how much you can be able to put into 48 minutes, because I can see we are on a timer 48 minutes, but we'll try and give you all the best. Bang bang bang, try to hit it as fast as we can and give you as much info as we can. And figure we start off with AFCON, and where hii story yetu ya AFCON sasa has taken a very weird turn. I say it has taken a weird turn because the Pamoja bid, we had the LOC chairperson, Nicholas Musonye, who came out yesterday and literally told the media that we are very happy to move this to 2028. Now, the questions for me, Thigi, are very simple, even before your input. One, our stadium, Talanta Stadium, which is one of the main stadia that is being used for that event. In fact, the one that is hosting the opening ceremony and the closing ceremony for AFCON 2027 is 80% complete. We still have, between now and when we host AFCON, 1 year and 5 months. Which is good enough time to do anything else that is required. We have closed Nyayo. We have closed Kasarani for renovation. And remember, Nyayo is not even being used as a main stadium for the event. It is for practice, and they are doing the canopy right now to put it up to international standards. Then we have the Kasarani Stadium that has everything, including the canopy and everything. But sasa nyasi nao ni blah.
Nyasi ni noma.
But we still have 1 year and 5 months to plant grass and manage that grass. Which is enough time.
Well, Murad, the issues, let me just take you back to the genesis of this issue. You seem to be attacking Musonye, but Musonye...
No, I was coming to the Guardian.
Musonye did not originate this issue.
Yes.
This original story came from a writer called Ed Aarons. That's the author of that story, who writes for the Guardian. And his writing cited, in his article he cited several things that are making that EXCO meeting that is happening today in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, to be followed by a press conference by the CAF president, Mosepe, which will be happening 3 o'clock, the time we're closing the show. But this is what Ed Aarons said, that several sources are saying the issues they find with Kenya are that there are issues finding time in the international calendar to complete the qualification, giving the potential involvement of up to 10 teams, African teams at the World Cup. That means qualifiers cannot happen before June.
Yes.
Qualifiers can only happen after June. So they're saying that period may be too short. That's one of the things they're citing. The other thing they're saying
is that... Why is it never any short?
Concerns.
Anyway, let's say the concerns
are about preparation, are about the infrastructure in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. These are the concerns. Just like that other guy from Ivory Coast said, we live in the dark, and those other stories that he added. Then when that happened, the other issue became, okay, in 2028, will this tournament come to East Africa, or will it go to Ethiopia, who had expressed interest alongside South Africa, a South Africa-Botswana joint bid? So what will happen if it goes to 2028? Now, Musonye comes in and says, actually,
it's a good idea.
It's a very good idea.
Kitu tusongeshe
kwa sababu there's elections happening in like a month after the tournament closes. So he cites elections. These guys from CAF the report from the Guardian had not mentioned anything
to do with the Kenyan
about
election.
Politics, about the elections. So we are like, okay, if this thing happens in 2028, kuna mahesabu zitaharibika
mingi,
kuna mahesabu zitadhoka
mingi. By the way, kuna hesabu mob sana zina spoil.
So me, I was like, okay, I'm expecting a rejoinder, and the rejoinder came in very fast. Today, Luxolo September. Luxolo September is a communication director,
and not the somebody called Luxolo who was born in September.
No. He's Luxolo September.
That's his name.
Yeah,
okay.
and on his platform on X, he picked that quote from Ed Aarons and replied to him, "You're writing fiction."
And you know,
so he's basically dismissed that story of there was any idea to move the tournament to 2028. Lakini mbivu na mbichi, I think in an hour tutajua.
Not in an hour, in the next around 43 minutes we will know, because that's when the press conference is happening.
Yeah.
But now Thigi, let's also talk about desktop journalism, because it's about time we also introspect as journalists and ask ourselves questions, because we have a lot of people that are sitting around not wanting to go to the field, not wanting to talk to people, not wanting to get the actual story. And this is a perfect example of that type of journalism, where somebody sits and maybe speaks to some people in England, because the Guardian is an English newspaper. So most likely this is somebody who spoke to somebody in the FA, the English FA, or spoke to somebody within that European region of theirs, or even spoke to a few players. And you know, sometimes you can bump into some players and you ask, by the way, what do you think about AFCON 2027?
How's the preparedness?
How's the preparedness?
And somebody maybe reacts to something, maybe an article they saw, maybe somebody complaining about the quality of the grass during the weekend game between Wydad and Nairobi United. And that alone is used to
triggers a story.
Is used to make, you know, crazy conclusions, because from where we sit, I use Gong Road to access this studio. The works on Gong Road are going on.
I have been there.
Talanta Stadium is going on.
Yes.
You know, give credit where it's due.
True.
We have on this show criticized government several times. We have criticized the federation heavily, and we will continue to criticize when there's a reason to do so. But on this matter, in reality, the hosting of CHAN, yes, we did have maybe one or two issues, but it was a perfect tournament.
True.
It was an amazing tournament.
It was beautiful.
CAF itself was like, oh, we didn't expect this from East
Actually,
Africa.
forget even about East Africa. The accolades that Kenya as a country got. In fact, the only problem that we might have, Thige, in terms of hosting the whole tournament is having enough stadia ready at that particular point, international stadia. But if the government would invest in more stadiums, we can very comfortably host that tournament solo, because so far we only have two stadiums that will be ready. That will be Talanta and Kasarani. I know that they are also trying to rush to complete the stadium in Mombasa, because that one the works had already stalled, but PS Mwangi of Sports just last week or the week before, in a story that is actually on our website, he went to view the works in Mombasa, and he was quoted as saying that he believes that stadia by 2027 can also be ready as an optional venue to host an AFCON match. And they say they are willing to bid and put in a word with CAF for that to be considered.
But Kasarani is enough to host two groups. Kasarani and Talanta are enough to host two groups, because every country will host two groups. Because there are six groups in the AFCON. So all this noise really is not warranted. The question
so if Tanzania is not ready, Kenya is ready to take on. We have one more Kiwanja. We can take up one more match and one more group or two more groups like you've proposed. So we have 4 groups here and 2 groups in Uganda, and we're good to go. So
the noise is unwarranted. Hoima Stadium is also on schedule in Uganda, as well as the stadium in Arusha. The timing of the works and the infrastructure being built up is on schedule. So this noise is unwarranted. Surely, Moraya. Kelele wache.